Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Convention Confessional. My name is Katy Hunt, and I'm here to guide you through the good, the bad, and the ugly of the convention world. And I do it with a little help from my friends. And here I am making new friends, expanding my borders, learning to meet new people, putting myself out there, I guess you would say. And this week, I have the hosts of the podcast Shit Cosplayers Say, Elle and Ashlyn. Hi guys, how you doing?
We're
Pretty
good.
good, yeah, good stuff.
Nice, awesome. Well, welcome to the show. If you'd like to introduce yourselves, please feel free.
Thanks, Katie. I'm Ash,
And I'm Elle.
and we are Vie Cosplay.
And as Katie said, we are the hosts of Shit Cosplayers Say, which basically means we are cosplayers and we say shit. And that's the show.
Yep.
There you go.
Spoiler alert.
Oh no, not in the whole show.
Yep, we just spoiled the entire show for all of you. That's what we do.
Awesome. And how long have you guys been cosplaying for?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We passed 20 years a while ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Late 90s.
Yeah.
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 Yep, feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, long time.
Many moons.
Many
We have seen
moons.
many things in our time.
Well, now I'm just curious because people that are like that long cosplayers, I have to always ask, what was your first cosplay?
Technically, it was Sailor Moon, and it was terrible.
Oh, wow.
Let's
But
see.
like great in the way that like you went to the thrift store and tried to find the pieces.
Oh, I love
and
it.
definitely glued like a navy blue handkerchief for my like collar.
Please?
And used my own hair.
Yes, the
that's
Savers
definitely-
cosplay.
Yes. I know.
Yes.
I remember hot gluing ribbon on for like the lines and stuff still to this day. Because there's a picture somewhere. Because I did Neptune too, like maybe a year after.
Okay.
I have seen that
definitely
picture.
tried to use that like the blue color mousse that used to exist in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to use that. It doesn't work. So I had like half dyed green hair with like a piecemeal Neptune. So it's somewhere between those two were like roughly my first two, which would have been in like 2000 probably 1999 2000 somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. My first one was Eris from Final Fantasy VII.
Nice.
And I definitely pieced that together using clothes that my mom no longer wanted, because I was getting just old enough to be able to like alter some of her clothes to fit. So she had this pink, I think it was a nightgown that I ended up using for the dress, and then she had this really god awful like red corduroy suit, like a two-piece like jacket with a skirt.
Nice.
And I butchered the jacket with some hand sewing and then put, I think, duct tape for the silver on her shoulder pieces and for the wrist cuffs, and added giant sequins on top of them and probably packing tape on top of that so that it would all stick together. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Good stuff.
Good stuff. It's funny, like I always say, like my first official like convention cosplay was Hatsuharu Soma. But that was not my first official cosplay. I actually made the maid from Big O.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that was my first official cosplay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the first like official thing I tried to make was.
Well, it's funny because everybody thought that I was Wednesday Addams.
Oh.
Oh.
I was like, ooh, swing and a miss.
Costumes were so different back then, even if you competed, because they didn't even really require handmade costumes till towards like maybe 2005 at a lot of conventions. You were just judged on what you looked like on stage. They didn't care if you made it or not. So like I've been competing since like 2000, but I really didn't start like caring about craftsmanship until we got back together in like 2013.
Right.
Because there was a whole recession thing and I took a break from cosplay for a while. You know, that thing.
You know. Expensive.
Life.
Yeah.
Always getting in the way.
Right? I know. So I think the first costume I tried to legit make would have been in like 2001 or 2002. I tried to make Hinoto from X.
Oh my god, I want to
So-
cosplay X so bad.
which is I'm working on her now. So
Ah!
20 years later, with the skills now, I'm making her.
Ah!
But I want to say that's the first time I tried.
I've always
to make
wanted to be Sorata.
Oh yes, please.
Yes,
Actually,
please.
anything from X. X is one of my absolute favorites.
clamp.
Oh god,
love
it's so good, but it breaks your heart.
But it's
People
so
like
good.
say Rainbow and Bridge together, and I just go like fetal. Like, no,
It's sad because the new kids don't know what X is, and it makes me sad.
no, but they should.
They should.
Everybody go watch it right now. Pause this and go watch the entire thing, and then you come back.
Yeah, leave and then come back. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Watch the series, not the movie.
Right. And
You
don't
need the
bother with the
whole-
manga because you're just gonna be mad it didn't end.
I'm still upset. I'm still upset. I have all of them.
Me too.
I need to know how it ends.
It sits there in English and in Japanese, unfinished.
It makes me very upset when I look at it, but it's so pretty because I have all of them.
It's like, why do we keep falling into the clamp trap? Because they never finish anything that they start.
Because it's so pretty.
No, it doesn't. No, it's like horrible
No.
Stockholm syndrome.
They're just so pretty. You can't help yourself.
Ugh.
It's abuse.
Anything that-
know.
yeah, anything that goes over 7 books, they're not going to finish it.
Mm-mm. No, they won't.
Nope.
We can wait. So, like 10 years from now, they're suddenly going to decide, hey, we're going to finish X because that's what they do. Like,
They will. And we'll be like, fuck you, I'm not reading it. And I'm reading it.
yeah, I'm reading it.
You're
Let's
like-
be honest.
I was like, I'm just gonna buy it so my collection will be complete,
Yeah,
and then the temptation will be too much.
right. Right. And then you're just crying at 2 a.m. over it.
Right.
So being in the cosplay game as long as you have, you must have some stories, dears.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Where-
hesitate.
There's
where to
just so
begin?
many. I don't know where to begin
Any-
because
Hmm.
there's just so many.
There's so
Um,
many.
How
Oh,
about,
let's-
how about worst experience ever?
Oh.
ooh.
Ooh.
You can do it. I know you can.
Well, and now I'm thinking, is it like pre 2006 or 2013 and over? Because they're all very different experiences.
Maybe both.
Maybe
Yeah, both is good.
Yes, because my teenage / college experiences have been very different than when we like came back and were like smacked in the face with how much everything had changed. Because it was a very different ball game.
Well, let's start with the teenage years and then work our way up.
Okay. I would say one of the most memorable stories from my late teens, early 20s was it was Anime Central,
Okay.
which is a convention outside of Chicago, Illinois. It's one of the bigger anime conventions in the country. But at the time, it was like one of the only ones because this was way back when. But they had a masquerade, as you do. And a group of us decided we were going to enter a 21-person Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust group.
Like you do.
Like you do. But it gets better.
Oh,
Seems legit, right?
yeah, right? Seems about right.
We do a skit.
Oh.
And there are 21 people from all around the country.
Oh,
So we didn't rehearse till at the convention.
of course not.
Of course, there's stage combat involved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we go and we do this thing, and we have like a bunch of drama with getting judged. Something got like confused. This was the first year they were actually like looking at costumes prior to going on stage. So there was some confusion. There were some arguments as to whether or not our main costumer was a professional costumer. Because apparently that was against the unwritten rules of the contest. So it was just started out confusing, ended confusing. But we go on stage, we do our thing, and then when we get off, we find out we were disqualified.
What?
We were disqualified for rules that didn't exist yet. So the reason that Anime Central has some of the rules it has is because of our group.
Oop.
What did you do?
We actually did fine, but I think they realized that if we hadn't, there could have been like major issues. Because you really shouldn't have 21 people on stage.
Okay, well that seems like an exaggeration.
Yes.
I mean, they weren't on stage all at the same time.
No, we were not. We were not all on stage at the same time. They definitely put a rule in about stage combat after us, even though we did find we had a certified stage combat person like
The blood
choreograph us.
sacrifice was too much, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but we like it was just one of those where like we got disqualified for rules that don't exist. What?
That's lame.
It was so we were just like so confused afterward, and people were just like, "What happened?" We still don't know to this day exactly what happened. We know that that was part of it.
Was there like a riot?
No, but the people who won were a little annoyed because obviously everyone was coming to see this massive group
Right.
afterward, and like I get that as the winner, that is really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So we like tried to get out of the way so they would have their attention. But
Sure,
how do you hide a 21 person vampire hunter D group?
You don't.
You can't hide us. We're my costume was I was Carmilla.
Right.
So like my costume's massive on its own.
Right.
You cannot hide us. But it was one of the weirdest experiences next to when we were in a masquerade when we first came back and we won an award that we shouldn't have been eligible for.
Okay.
You remember that, Ash?
I do. Yeah. So we went to this show and it was our first time competing since we came back to the scene. And so obviously we have no idea what the process is going to be like because this is our first experience back into competitive cosplay and going to cons again. I think it was actually our first con back. We'd done a couple charity events maybe before. And this particular convention, they don't hold you and do an awards ceremony. They actually release you as soon as everybody's done on the stage, and they post the winners whenever they get done judging.
Oh, like a casket?
Yeah, so just like whenever it might happen to be that they're done judging, then they'll post them so that everybody can see them. So we're sitting in the hotel and, you know, playing on our phones like you do. And I happen to check the Facebook page and it's maybe like 1:30 in the morning at this point. And I'm like, we won an award and it's weird. So they apparently had decided that they wanted us to be in a different class than what we had signed up for, which is totally fine. I mean, it didn't really matter, but it was just so they gave us a best in class award for a class that we weren't in.
Oh.
So we actually went down, not up.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what?
so in their defense, we did have a child competing with us.
Yes.
So they bumped us from journeyman to novice.
What?
Yes.
I mean, it's fine.
Because like honestly, we had no clue what we were doing and we probably belonged in there.
Well, and we only entered journeyman because technically our award count from before we left put us into where we needed to be in journeyman with their particular rule set.
Yeah.
And so they pretty much, and other cons have told us this after the fact, that all of those awards don't count when it comes to us entering competitively now because the structure is so different. But at the time, it was really, really odd.
It was weird.
Like you just don't you don't expect that. It was just kind of a strange, and we're fine with it. It was just a really strange occurrence. But my favorite thing is we won an award and it's weird.
Yep.
Yay, we won.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Yeah.
My first time competing was in Boston, and I had put a group together where we did a hairspray skit. And I was Tamaki from Host Club. And I had Yoko from Gurren Lagann, had Tifa from Final Fantasy, and Winry from Fullmetal Alchemist because I needed a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. We did like the Corny Collins show, like hairspray advertisement.
Oh my goodness.
Please. And it was yeah. And I honestly, like, I choreographed it. Was it like phenomenal choreography? No, it wasn't. But anyways, we did our little skit. People seemed to like it. We went off stage, and then they're announcing the awards. And you know how they like line people up backstage?
Yeah,
Wait for
I
an award.
that.
So you kind of know that you're getting something.
Yeah.
So there's like, okay, group, whatever group number we were, they're like, yeah, you gotta get up. And I was like, okay. And I stood up, and my friend stood up. They're like, no, not you guys, just the Tamaki.
What?
I got singled
Awkward.
out of my group for a judge's award.
Oh,
Awkward.
you can't do that. That's mean.
Right? I was just like, so like I'm just like
Uh.
walking up and I'm like looking back at my friends and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe again I think in my head like all those possibilities, like, okay, maybe they just don't want everybody walking across the stage, like they want one person from the group. And then no, it wasn't that at all. The judge
Oh,
literally said
no.
like, I just couldn't not give this Tamaki something. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my
Yikes.
Well, there just weren't the etiquette rules that there are now.
Yeah, right. This is,
Like,
again, or
I mean,
2008.
you used to be able to gong people off stage.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there just wasn't that, like, level of grace that is expected in a judge now back then. But that just, I don't know. I feel like I would think that was mean.
I felt terrible. My friends were like, no, it makes sense. You made the skit and everything. And I was like, but guys.
Yeah. I guess I just can't imagine even thinking about doing that as a judge. Like, I
No.
would just give it to the whole group and not
Right.
just the one person,
Right.
you know, to not be an asshole.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, it was something.
Aw,
That is something.
that is something.
You just like, you're talking about awkward awards. I'm like, ooh, have I got a story?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think that one takes the cake of awkward awards.
Right?
Because that is awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big yikes.
Big yikes.
Big yikes.
And then it was funny
Ooh.
because like I did that skit, which I was like, wow, that was a really good dance skit, guys. And then the following year we had our huge Dead Moon Circus skit that won Best in Show at Anime Boston.
Yeah.
I totally enjoyed that, by the way.
Oh my god, you seen it?
I listened to your Dead Moon Circus episode and then I had to,
Go find it.
go watch it because I love Sailor Moon. So I mean that's always a perk. And we also have a Sailor Moon musical skit in our repertoire. So which we also won a Best in Show for. So
Hey.
Woo!
woohoo.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what happens the next morning when you're hungover, some of the things you come up with, who knows? You
Yes.
might win.
Yeah, all of our like best performances are like on the way home from the con usually.
Fever dreams.
Yes.
We're on the con high.
Yeah, but we did the 5 main villains from Sailor Moon and did the Cell Block Tango from Chicago.
Nice.
It was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite thing to cosplay from?
I'm more into specific characters rather than series usually.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of Sailor Moon
Mm-hmm.
because we both grew up on Sailor Moon.
Right.
But it sort of depends on what mood I'm in to what character I want to play.
Sure.
One of my favorite characters to do in general is Erd from Oh My Goddess.
Yep.
I love Erd. But I pretty much just like any character in general that's a narcissistic asshole.
Hey,
They're my favorite usually.
Mm-hmm. It's the easiest. It's the easiest to do.
It is the easiest to do. It is the furthest from my actual personality, but they are a lot of fun.
And yeah. And it's like I want to say that I'm not that person. I'm not that person, but Tony Stark comes way too easy.
Right? Like that kind of character. I enjoyed them tremendously.
Right. Like Tamaki, like his oh god, like he doesn't
Yes.
mean to be, but he is. It's like it's way too easy.
So, because this comes out on our episode in 3 days, so I can say it on here. But we are the U.S. representatives for the International Cosplay League in Spain for 2022.
Woohoo!
Whatever. If we
We've
get to
been
go
Team
this
USA
time.
for like 3 years now. It
Right.
feels like
Right, waiting for
2
this.
years.
Waiting. COVID.
But we did Magi, Labyrinth of Magic, for a preliminary.
Nice.
And then we are doing a different set from Magi for finals, and I'm playing Sinbad, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to finally play the biggest narcissistic asshole
For the whole world.
with a god
Elle's been waiting a
complex.
really long time for this.
I love him so much. I want an entourage to follow me around. Like, I don't know if it's a great idea to give me the power of Sinbad. We'll see what happens, but
This is fine.
right now he's like the character I'm looking the most forward to doing because I've been waiting so long to play Sinbad.
Well, that's awesome. Congrats, you guys.
Thanks.
That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it's cool if we ever get to go.
Yeah.
It will happen. Maybe next
One
year.
day.
Next
Maybe
year.
2023.
But you could say they were reigning champions of the ICL for like 3 years.
That's been my joke, is that will be the longest reigning US team ever,
Yeah.
because some of the other competitions will probably go this year because their preliminaries have already been done,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of the ICL preliminaries never got to happen.
Sure.
So there's only 4 teams right now.
Yeah.
Woo! Your odds are looking good.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's really just like a
Da, da,
race on
da.
whether or not we go or WCS Team USA goes first.
Yes, we're kind of like in competition with Team USA for WCS and who's going to hold the title the longest.
Oh God, yeah, because that hasn't happened like officially for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
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 US finals, what would it have been, like 2019?
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Ish?
19. It was the same year we did, so 19.
Yeah, 19. They're supposed to go this year, but Japan closed again, so who knows?
Womp womp.
Japan is closed. You may not go.
Do not
You
enter.
can look at it, but don't touch it.
Pretty much.
Aw.
Pretty much. But
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see.
Gosh.
Let's see. We've got one. We gave like was that like a teenage year, like 21 people thing, or was that like an adult?
that was a teenage year thing.
Okay, we're adults now. What's happened?
We've actually, I think it's been less eventful as we've gotten older, except that the con crunch got worse for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I like to physically injure myself during Con Crunch. So
That's
fun.
true.
Who
You do
doesn't?
that a lot.
I know, right?
I mean, one of our more entertaining, unexpected things that happened was the first time we got to MC an entire masquerade.
Oh yeah, let's hear about it.
So we MC'd for Anime Iowa 2019.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we did so as Deku and his mom
Okay.
from My Hero.
Yep.
And so there was another department that was supposed to be in charge of intermission, but there was sort of this like technical issue happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the people for it didn't show up.
Yes, so there were supposed to be guests involved with intermission, and they weren't there yet.
Oh.
So like, yeah, and so there was some miscommunication on time. So we had to BS for like 20-25 minutes.
Oh no.
And we ended up talking about the live show that we do, Shit Cosplayers Say.
Mm-hmm.
Which happened on Friday night.
Yes. Because in there is, so when we do our live show, it's basically the like best of the worst of cosplay and cons found in the depths of the internet.
Sure.
Well, one of the gems that we had found a long time ago was this con near me allows 10-minute skits. How do I write a good 10-minute skit? So one of the bits that we did during this particular show was attempted to write the 10-minute skit during the show.
Based off of all the crazy questions that came up later in the show. So then we'd like take it back to the original premise. Okay, now this is how this particular question fits into our 10-minute skit.
We ended up taking the audience through the process of this 10-minute skit because we didn't have anything planned for that much time. Like, you expect to stall for, 10 minutes maybe here and there.
Yeah, sure, like a couple of minutes maybe.
Yeah, well, and we had tons of stuff for in between entries. Some bits that we planned and some that we just improv'd. So, I mean, that was totally fine. But they told us not to worry about intermission and that we were only going to be hosting it and not actually be the intermission. So we're like, okay, we trust you.
That was your first mistake.
Yep.
So what now has happened is after that was over, the attendees challenged us to actually do a 10-minute skit.
Right.
So if we are ever rebooked at Anime Iowa, we are supposed to do a 10-minute skit for the intermission.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
With the caveat that we write it during the live show on Friday night.
Yes.
Oh. At least it's coming this time.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, like, the worst thing that anyone's ever made me do to, like, buy time was Cotton Eye Joe, so
Oh, goodness.
it turned into, like,
Oh.
it turned into a tradition at, the convention I worked at in New Hampshire. Like, every single convention, like, they're like, "Oh, well, we need some time," and all of a sudden, it would just come on, and I'm like, "Oh my god, okay."
I mean, that's funny.
It is, and it's like, I always did it, and it's like, one of those things where I'm just like, maybe this year we'll get away with it because we've run out of time because they've actually used "Oh, nope, there's the song. Okay, I'm going on stage, I guess, bye."
Haha.
And I've done it in, like, everything. Like, I can't even, like, I did it as Vash the Stampede, I've done it as Tamaki, I've done it as Hughes, I've done it as Videl from Dragon Ball Z, I've done it as Hamilton, I've done it as the Doctor, I've done it as... Like, I'm
Those
just, like,
running
thinking.
jokes are great. Like, you want those running jokes. They're hysterical.
Yeah, that, and there was also, like, this whiteboard that came up in the first year because
Oh, no.
they thought that I needed assistance from somebody with a notepad. So, like, I'd be sitting up there trying to talk, and all of a sudden someone would be, like, typing, like, messages on the whitepad. The thing is, like, I never saw half of what was said because they would just erase it. Like, I'd be doing, like, like, hosting, and then everyone would just be like, "Oh, ha ha ha," and I'm like, "What the hell is happening?" And I'd look, and they'd be erasing everything, so I'm like, "Oh, good. This is good."
That's so strange.
Yeah, and it happened for several years until that person didn't come back to the convention anymore. But
Oh, that's
now
right.
it's turned into, like, kind of like a running joke with my friends where it's like, "Okay, guys, I'm going on stage soon," and they all send me, like, pictures of a notepad. It's like, "I hate you. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank
That's
you for
great.
this."
I like it. You gotta have that kind of stuff, though. Especially now, does the audience ever get into Cotton Eye Joe with you?
I mean, like, yeah, like, they used to let them, like, dance and everything else, like, in the audience while they were waiting just to keep them entertained, so.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put them on the stage, though. There was... So, let's see. It was the second year I hosted. That people rushed the stage when I was up there.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I ended up getting, like, this little, like, fan group almost of people, like, from that convention that, like, there was, like, a Facebook page. It was kind of a deal for a while. I mean, I am flattered. I was absolutely flattered that people, like, thought of me in such a high enough respect that I, like, needed stalkers, I guess. But yeah, there was a picture, and it was my profile picture for a long time. Like, the professionals, like the Professional Photographer's Guide, of these cosplayers that had rushed the stage to, like, be up there with me, and I'm just mortified because I'm like, what is happening? And
Oh gosh.
from that day on, I had a security person at the stairs,
Nice.
so nobody could come on stage.
Nice.
So it's like I kind of had my own, like, little bodyguard. It was funny. But yeah,
I think
like,
one of my favorite MC moments we've had was we got the entire audience to sing the Pokemon theme song with us.
but it was funny because I was just talking to two other people from the Cospod the other day, and we were talking about that, how, like, every single convention has to play the Pokemon theme song, or is it really a convention? Like, there has to be a sing along to it, or did you do it right?
That's funny. Yeah.
Their theme was Pokemons. We were Pokemon trainers.
Oh, well, there you go.
For emceeing their masquerade.
Nice.
It was a good time. We got
Yeah,
them
that
to
was
sing.
when Go was super hot.
Yeah. They
Nice.
sang, they dabbed. It was great.
I got to heckle Elle the entire masquerade.
You did, which
Yep.
is normal. It's usually how that goes.
Are there any skits in particular that are any favorites that you've done?
Oh, the Sailor Moon Cell Block Tango is by far my favorite one that we've done.
Yeah, I would agree. That one's probably my super fave that we've done.
Nice.
That was an absolute blast. That was kind of one of those, like, dream group cosplays.
Uh-huh.
I think our new ICL skit will be one of my favorites, but we're keeping that under wraps for now.
I mean, yeah, you've kept it secret this long.
Right?
Right?
I would agree with that.
It's going to be the
really
best skit
excited.
ever in, like, 5 years.
I think one of my favorite skits that we've ever done wasn't for a competition, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to work for a burlesque troupe.
Sure.
So we did 18 plus skits here and there to kind of help so the rest of the performers could change and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did Erd and Scald, but we did The Internet is for Porn.
Okay.
From Avenue Q.
from Avenue
Yeah.
Q.
Oh, yeah, I love that musical.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense for to be Tully Monster and for Scold to be the innocent teacher who doesn't know what's going on.
Obviously.
Yeah, we did that 3 or 4 times.
Easily.
it
Because
was
the
fun.
audience would ask, are they going to do it again?
Yeah.
Because everybody always wanted us to do that particular skit.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I would do
and
it again.
we also did another one that we had a lot of fun with for that was we made a parody to You Won't Succeed in Broadway from Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot,
Mm-hmm.
except it's You Won't Succeed in Cosplay if you don't have any boobs.
I
And
feel like
we
I've
did
seen
it
that skit.
we did it as Lena Inverse and Amelia from Slayers.
Where did you guys do that skit?
A couple places in one was in Illinois, one was in Iowa. So, but it was for the burlesque show, so it shouldn't be on the internet
No,
anywhere.
but I feel like I've heard of it though. So I don't know, maybe one of my friends went to it and like talked about
Maybe.
it.
Could be.
Maybe.
I mean, it's possible that someone else has also come up with.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it is really specific.
It is very
I guess.
specific.
It's one of those we've always wanted to do it, and we knew that we'd get kicked out of any convention we tried to do it at.
Oh yeah.
So when the burlesque troupe was like, "Y'all want to do some skits?" We're like, "This is what we're doing.
We're
We
doing
need
it.
to do this. This has to happen right now, and it must be Slayers because it makes so much sense for Lena to be the one who is not allowed to be cos famous because she doesn't have any boobs." So.
Facts. Straight facts.
Because they make fun of her for that for the entire series. It's a running gag all through Slayers.
It is.
So much nostalgia.
I know.
I know. See, this is what happens. Like, we get people on here that are like, a little bit older. I'll say it. We're a little bit older.
Yeah.
And we grew up in that golden age, and we get taught. And this is what happens. Like, me and my friends especially, we get talking about like all these older animes, and I'm just like, wow. Like, nobody knows what we're talking about. And if they do, then they really like had somebody, like some really good sensei was like, all right, watch all this first, and then you can watch your new crap.
Sometimes I actually miss the like the old school Masquerade skit where you just had like a bunch of random characters mashed together. And then like they would do something that made sense but didn't.
Right. Oh yeah, like where it's literally just like, I'm gonna come on stage and I'm gonna stand here to the Digimon theme while these people have nothing to do with Digimon.
Yes.
How did you end up in the Digi world?
Yes, where they'd be like everybody's in one character's world, or like there are days where I'm like, sometimes I miss that level of chaos.
Yeah, right. Like somehow the Final Fantasy people have ended up in the digital world because like of I don't know.
Yeah, it was so common to just throw a bunch of like random characters together and either like make a game show or like a random quest or whatever and do a skit out of it back in like the early 2000s.
I feel like cosplay skits have gotten way more serious. Would you agree?
They have, absolutely.
Like, what was it? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone's costumes, everybody always looks amazing. Like, everybody's on point. But I swear to God, some of these, like, people that do the video games and stuff, it's like the video game's playing behind them. And they're just like, I must become my father's daughter and rule this kingdom. But there's so much angst and drama around me. And it's like they're all acting out like some kind of like, I don't know, fight scene of some kind. Someone always dead.
You can tell the people who have watched international competitions and who haven't.
Right.
And those people that love their video in the background and the drama and the fight scenes have watched WCS at some point in time.
Yes. There's like, we're going to be that. You're like, no, honey, no. No, you're not. But it's okay.
We still need to make our bingo cards for the next time that we watch WCS.
Oh, that's right, we do.
Because there's always fate.
Yep.
And there's always fight scenes.
Yep.
There's so many tropes.
There'll be at least one Zelda skit, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
At least.
Yeah.
At least one.
Things every Masquerade always has. You know, honestly, we should hand out bingo cards.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Masquerade bingo?
Masquerade bingo would be super entertaining.
It's like everybody gets the free spot, and then it's just like the Pokemon song. Everybody gets it, obviously.
Right.
Again, one of those really like why is this so serious skits?
Right.
Unnecessary PDA.
Mm-hmm. Yes, unnecessary PDA. Oh, you know what? Just for like the throw it off, because not every bingo card can be easy. You have to have one of those ones we just talked about, like the mishmash,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
because someone still
Yes.
always does it.
Every once in a while, it will still occur, and it makes my heart happy when it happens.
Right? It's like that nostalgic part of you, like especially if you're judging, sees it, and you're just like, oh damn, someone's gonna get my judge's award. Because you know what? You tried, and you've pulled a heartstring.
If I was judging a con and someone came on and did an old school skit, regardless of how good it was, they would probably get my judge's award for just attempting to do an old school skit.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like my judge's award. It's like I always want to give it to somebody that, like, regardless of what level they are or costume they're wearing or something, it's like if you are showing me that you have put like your everything into this, like you have my heart, you have my judge's award. Like that's how I judge.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not looking for the best. I'm looking for someone that's just up there having a fucking amazing time.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely go for the passion.
We've got to encourage the younger generation because eventually we're going to be too old for this. So
yeah, the grandmas.
We want them to keep. Well, I mean, we could all end up being like grandmas on stage, and I mean, I could see that totally happening still. I have to play the fairy godmother from Shrek at some point.
But I've always said it, like there's this woman that comes to Boston every year. I remember her from every single year. She always dresses up as the mom from Marmalade Boy.
Oh, cute.
It has like the squirrel village like in her hair. She always comes every year in a different kimono, and she's always got a different setup on her head.
That's cute.
And it's awesome. I love it. That's what I strive to be when I'm older.
Right?
I totally want that.
I just hold those lists for in your 60s, you know? And then you can return to them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But we got to keep these young kids still getting on the stage.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what Judges' Choice Awards are sort of for. I mean,
kind of.
I mean, that's kind of how I use mine too. It's to encourage the newer competitors to keep coming back.
Right.
Because we want them to return.
Right, because we need to have future masquerades.
Exactly.
We all need a job.
Yes. We need you to continue so that we can continue.
Right? You need to carry on this legacy so that we can also have a legacy. Let's see, what else would be on this bingo card, though? Now I'm invested.
Oh, what else? Well, I mean, there's always somebody from Legend of Zelda.
Yep, Zelda. Yep.
There's almost always someone from Fate. You have to have
some kind of a fight skit.
Yes, you have to have dance karaoke.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Love Live
dance karaoke.
Yep.
If it's allowed, there's going to be normal karaoke too.
Yes.
Oh God.
I know.
I have a story for that one. There was a year at Kineticon that I had gone down just to work a table for the convention that I was working at. And for some reason that year, they had decided that instead of karaoke getting its own room... Okay, so see if you can picture it. It's like, the place is 3 levels, right? And then you go up the escalator into like one flat level that leads into like a big expedition room. And then there's 2 staircases on either side, okay? One side is a staircase that leads up to like an outdoor area and like a little food court thing. And the other side is literally just an escalator, a huge sitting alcove, and another escalator up to get to the 3rd floor where I was sitting, which is outside of Masquerade, right? In that small alcove, that's where they decided to put karaoke for 6 hours.
Oh.
6 hours.
Oh,
of
no.
Karaoke.
I don't know if that's better or worse than the Jigglypuff one year at it was early Anime Iowa, like maybe 01 or 02. They had this piñata, and they used to do a piñata every year, and you had to buy raffle tickets, and then I think it went to the non-for-profit or a charity or something along those lines. So they set Jigglypuff up, which was their piñata for that year, in the dealer's room, and they played the theme song, or they played the Jigglypuff song the entire time, like all day. And the only way they would shut it off is if somebody bought a ticket. And then like after another minute, they would turn it back on again.
Oh my God.
So they were like abusing these people and bullying them into buying raffle tickets.
Money or we'll hit the button. It's like, no.
Yep.
Oh. And I want to say, like, some of them were good. It's like, okay, people can sing. No, none of them. And I don't care. I don't care if they listen to this. I don't care if they were a part of it. I don't care if they heard it. No. None of you had any business singing Journey.
Oh, goodness.
None of you.
Oh, no.
And of course the Pokemon theme song, which again, you really don't have to be on key for that because it's funnier if you're not. But
Right.
like,
sometimes you wonder why they put certain things where they do at con.
Right. It's like, why would that be a good idea? Like, everybody had to like walk past it to go up to the 3rd floor. It's like, it's right next to like because the place was so open. It's like, I say, like, they had like sitting area, but it's literally like you could see into all of these alcoves. Like, it was just a big open concept place with stairways.
Okay.
So it just echoed through the whole convention center. Like, you're getting your badge downstairs and you can hear somebody just being like, please stop.
They must not have done that the year I was there.
I know exactly what you're talking about because we were just at C2E2 and McCormick Place is set up similar to that. I cannot imagine karaoke in the like panel on one of the panel floors.
Right.
It would be echoing so badly.
Right.
Yikes.
Like,
it would be
well, they
horrible.
already like hire bands to come in and play in the main space, and it echoes everywhere. Like, as soon as you like get into one of the adjacent connecting hallways, you can hear it.
Oh yeah, that building is insanely big.
Yeah.
I've never been to like C2E2, but like, I mean, I have friends that have gone for like different things, like for that building.
Mm-hmm.
And that place is enormous.
Yeah, McCormick, and they only use like half of it.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been out to like any of the East Coast conventions at all, or are you just mostly Midwest?
I've done a little bit of traveling. So I actually did my college internship with a vendor.
Okay.
So we went to Otakon and Kineticon. I'm trying to think of
Kineticon.
09, I think.
Oh my god, that was the first year I worked there.
Yeah. So I was in the dealer's hall pretty much the entire weekend. And then let's see what else. We went to Raleigh. We did a little bit of East Coast, and we went down south a little bit and hit like Acon and some of those before we came back. But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm vaguely like reminiscing of what the space looks like as you're talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting part of this, but
right. No, yeah, like it's a vague description, but it's like, yeah,
it's also a vague memory at this point because
I
that was like 13 years ago.
Yeah,
for the one time I went to that convention.
Oh man. So just for the sake of curiosity, for my curiosity, did you happen to go to the dating game that year? Do you remember?
I did not.
Damn it.
No, I worked the whole weekend.
Damn it. Someday I'm gonna get the footage for that damn dating game. It's gonna happen.
It
like
is
my white whale.
You.
Honestly, it's like it was the first big event that me and my friend Ryan had ever like hosted, and we talked about it in his episode a million years ago. It feels like now, but like, long story short, is like nobody recorded it, so we have no proof that it happened. And in our minds, it was like this amazing thing that happened. But whenever I hear people have gone to the convention, I'm like, "Did you go to the dating game?" And no one did. So I was like, "Who the hell was there?"
Somebody.
The room was
Somebody
full.
was there.
Somebody. Nobody hitting that record button.
Apparently not.
Gonna like show up on YouTube in 10 years and they're gonna be like, "That's it."
Yeah, I found it on my old camcorder. Oh man. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been delightful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I mean, it's so nice meeting you guys. Is there anything you'd like to promote while you're here?
Obviously our podcast, Shit Cosplayers Say.
Nice.
We upload every other week, and you can find us at viecosplay.com/podcast or on whatever app you happen to use to get your podcasts.
Nice. Awesome.
And
and then I guess while we're here, I will promote my book because I have a book. That could have gone worse. Life Lessons from a Dinosaur Cosplayer. It's out on Amazon right now. And it's basically life lessons that got me to where I am now, and fun stories about convention times and outside of convention times. And yeah, it's available. So feel free to download or buy that off of Amazon, guys. Help me pay my bills. It's been awesome meeting you guys. I hope to have you back on soon. More stories to share, perhaps.
Oh, there's so many.
there's There's just too many stories and
Right.
so little time.
So little time. That's okay. We've got a million more Wednesdays in the year. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.